Yeah, well, you really couldn't see this one coming, as every single poll that's coming out of Wisconsin right now has the governor upside down. His approval ratings plummeting.
Right, because
his negative numbers are going up.
Harsh.
And very importantly, the president's approval rating in Wisconsin is way, way up. A state that the White House was really worried about in 2012. This has done wonders for them. Shock. Hard to believe, conservatives. The governor of Wisconsin is in fact a politician, not a perfectly principled crusader.
On this question, it's very interesting that national polls show that people believe that the rights of collective bargaining in this country are sacrosanct. I was surprised at the polls, and I don't always pay attention to the polls, but I think that some people got the idea across in this country that we need collective bargaining, that unions have a real role in our process. They're only 13% of the workforce now is unionized, 7% of that is public employee unions. But look at the history of what unions have done in terms of safety, in terms of the workplace, in terms of who we are as a working people. You have to go back to the union movement of the 20th century. It's one of the great movements, along with the civil rights movement, the women's movement, gay rights movement. That's what's changed this country in the past century.
I agree with you.
And when you're governor of Wisconsin, no matter what your principles were 3 weeks ago, no matter what they might be internally, when you wake up on a Monday in March, in every newspaper in the state, from the smallest newspapers, La Crosse, Wisconsin, to the major newspaper, the Milwaukee Sentinel, that endorsed you, is now spanking you on their editorial pages. You start to say,
And you got elected 4 months ago, solidly, and now your approval rating is down in the high 30s. You start thinking, maybe it's time to cut a deal.
No, but these emails are not dated this morning, okay? So I think you guys, I understand what you're saying, and we talked about these polls yesterday, and I told you what I thought the polls showed. The polls to me showed that he looks really cold and heartless and completely incapable of moving on an issue that's important to the little guy.
It's not an honest strategy. Had he embarked on an honest strategy out front, saying, look, we are going to bargain in good faith, and we're going to come up with a solution.
He looks really cold and heartless and completely incapable of moving on an issue that's important to the little guy.
It's not an honest strategy.